You feel bad about you. Oh, I'm not lovable after all. That person that loved me found someone younger, taller, nicer, smarter. Please meet my need to matter, and they don't. And then it becomes an unmet need, and we go through life with this unmet need. Hey, could you meet my unmet need? Don't give that power to anyone else. Hi, this is Marisa Peer talking to you today about something really important: why you don't yet love yourself and how to change. I work with many people who have no idea how to fall in love with themselves. They've read a book that says love yourself, but it doesn't really mean anything. How do you love yourself? Well, first of all, it is vital, essential, crucial for you to love yourself. If you want anyone to love you and be with you and stay with you, they have to believe you're worth loving. And if you attract someone by faking it and pretending, they very quickly work out that you don't think you're worth it. Then they don't think you're worth it. So what I see so many people doing is this classic mistake of trying to make someone else love them. I'm going to find this guy and try to make him love me. I'm going to find this girl, this woman, and try to make them love me. I'm going to run after love, chase after love, work so hard. I'm going to earn that love of being super good or super hot or super nice or super indispensable. And that is all a mistake. Love is not to be earned. Love is not to be worked for or run after or bought or even traded. And if you want to find love, there's one thing you have to change. It is not your body. It's not your weight, your shape, your size, the years on your birth certificate. Nothing has to be snipped off or injected in to make you feel lovable. Nothing has to be bought, added, taken away. The only thing you need to find love is a belief that you are lovable. You see, people love you to the degree that they think you're worthy of being loved. We all know that story. I couldn't find a partner. I was in an emotional wasteland, a relationship wasteland for 4 years. I met someone, and how weird, in that same month, 3 other people asked me out. That's because when someone loves you and goes, hey, I just called to hear your voice. I just rang your answering machine just to hear your voice. I just was looking at your picture. I just checked in to say you're the best thing that's ever happened. We think, oh, I'm so lovable now. When we feel lovable, other people also notice that we are lovable. But here's the mistake we make. We go to someone, hey, could you make me feel lovable? Could you make me believe I'm worth loving? Could you love me? Could you meet my unmet need to feel lovable, to feel desirable, to feel worthy? Someone will go, yeah, of course. You want me to love you? I'll sign up for that. I can make you feel lovable, desirable, sexy, worth being with. But the problem is when you give someone the job of making you feel lovable, you also give them the job of removing that whenever they want to. They may turn up for a week, a year, 5 years, but if their job is to make you feel good about you, the other side of that coin is when they leave, you feel bad about you. Oh, I'm not lovable after all. That person that loved me found someone younger, taller, nicer, smarter. The only person who can make you feel really good about you is you. You must fall in love with yourself. Of course, you can find love, attract love, maintain love, but the other person can only make you feel as lovable as you already know that you are. So you have to fall in love with you. And once you do that, it's a game changer. When you fall in love with yourself, it's a lifelong romance. It never bores you. It never tires you. No shaving or waxing is involved in order to fall in love with yourself. You don't have to dress up for it. You can just be yourself. And here's another truth. You are going to spend the longest relationship in your entire life with you. You may have kids, but you're 30 when you have them. You may find love when you're 30, but they didn't have those first 30 years. Your parents may love you, but they die before you. The longest relationship you will ever have in your entire life is with yourself. You might as well fall in love with yourself. And by the way, if you think, oh, I've got friends who need to hear this, like, share, Sign up. Help other people understand that in order to attract love, you have to feel lovable. Now I can hear the question, but yeah, okay, but how? Well, it's very easy. First of all, you think of what would someone who would love you say to you? Imagine you got the best lover in the world. What would they say? Well, you know what they'd say. Hey, I just love the very bones of you. I'm in love with your soul. I just love you. You're the best thing that ever happened. What do all those songs go? I can't live without you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. So say it to yourself. Think of what you most want to hear and say it. Hey, I love you. I'm in love with you. You're amazing. Every time you go past the mirror, go, there you are. Look at you. You beautiful creature, look at you, you are lovable. You're kind, you're warm, you're nice, you're funny, you got a big heart. Say everything you long to hear and dream of hearing to yourself. When you say it, your mind doesn't go, who's saying that? Who's saying that? It goes, oh, you're saying it? Well, if you say it, it must be true. You see, your mind knows someone else go, hey, I love you so much. Can you lend me $20? Your mind understands that other people can manipulate you with praise. If you say it, it must be true. If you say, I love myself, or I can't love myself, I've got fat legs, it must be true. So think about the words you most want to hear. Say them and say them and say them. And just like putting lotion on dry skin, they will sink in and nourish you from the inside out. Nourish your soul with words where you nourish your chapped lips with Vaseline, and it will nourish you. Look in the mirror and go, I love you, I love you, I love you because you're lovable. Don't ever go, I love you because you're smart, because you're a size 6, because you earn a lot of money, because you're a great dentist. No. I love you because you're lovable. So say the words you've always wanted to hear. Fill up that missing part of you with your own words. Nourish your soul and spirit with words. Look in the mirror and say, I love you. I know it feels silly, but who cares if it brings to you lasting love? Isn't that worth it? Believe you are lovable. When you know you are lovable just the way you are, you allow the whole world to see that, of course, you are lovable just the way you are. And we live in a world that's been very unfair, and it's made us believe that only perfect people find love. But that's not true. I love the fact that now, especially in my country, there are 2 girls with Down syndrome who are models. In America, there is a girl, Amy Mullins, who is missing her lower limbs, and she's a catwalk model, married to Rupert Friends, a massive movie star. There's a girl, I believe her name is Carmen Young-Brown, who has vitiligo, impetigo, and is a Gap model, and is extraordinarily beautiful, but not perfect. And you see, you don't have to be beautiful to find love. You don't have to be perfect. In my experience of 33 years, people who try to be perfect are always unhappy. You know, as they almost always are, alone. Supermodels get left. Beautiful people don't even get asked out because people think, well, no, they've got a perfect life. Many of my clients who are models and rock stars say, I'm lonely. People don't ask me out. I worked with a beautiful, breathtaking model who said all the men I date diminish me and put me down because they feel I'm too beautiful for them. If beauty made you happy, every beautiful person would be happy, and we know what they're not. We know that Whitney Houston, extraordinarily beautiful, was unhappy. Heath Ledger, what a beautiful, beautiful man, was unhappy. So if you want to feel lovable, fall in love with yourself. Nobody can do it like you can. And when you fall in love with yourself, instead of saying, oh, could you make me feel good? Could you make me feel good? Could you make me feel good? You go, well, I feel good. I am good. I'm here. I'm lovable. And if you want to join in and we can love each other, that's great. I love me. And you can love me. And I can love you. And I hope you already love you, because I can only love what's already there. I don't want a broken person to try and put back together again. You know, hurt people hurt people. Damaged people damage people. You can start from being hurt. You can start from being damaged. And you heal your very soul when you fall in love with yourself. And by the way, we all know that if a bodybuilder wants to make a muscle bigger, they must break it, rest it, and build it up. And a broken heart is just the same. It's broken, and then it builds up bigger and better. And if you've had a broken heart, then you have a big, beautiful heart. Your scars make you more beautiful. Allow yourself to find love by doing the one thing that guarantees you'll find it. Know you're lovable. Know you're worth it. Fall in love with yourself. It changes everything. It really is a game changer.
You know, we all need proof that we're loved. I remember one of my clients years ago going, listen, if I'm so great, how come I'm single? I thought that is the opening of a book. If I'm so great, how come I'm still single? If I'm so great, why does nobody love me? If I'm so great, why haven't I been snapped? If I'm so great, why do these people keep dumping me and ghosting me? Well, there is a way to get over that and to make sure it doesn't happen. And it's very simple. You have to fall in love with yourself. You have to be what you want to get. Right? You go, yeah, but how am I even going to do that? What does that even mean? And I get that because I've been to many talks. I was at one years ago, and this girl was telling the guy on stage she was bulimic. He went, oh, well, that's just because you don't love yourself. And if you loved yourself, you wouldn't be bulimic. She went, okay. But he didn't tell her, how do you love yourself? And I'm going to tell you how to love yourself. It's very simple. The most important thing is, and we can do this right now, don't hesitate, let's do it now. If you had the best lover, the best husband, the best wife, the best boyfriend, the best girlfriend in the entire world, and they were like, you've been to boyfriend school and got the perfect one, or girlfriend school, or husband school, what would they say? Now, this is not rocket science. What would your great other half say? And by the way, don't look for a half, because you're not a half, you're a whole. But your person, your one, what would they say to you? And what they would say to you is, I love you. You're amazing. You know, I ring your machine when you're out just to hear your voice. Oh, I love everything about you. You're the best. You're amazing. You're the one. You know, Bridget Jones, when he went, Bridget, you're the one. Everyone went, oh. When that Billy Joel goes, don't go changing to try to please me because I love you just the way you are. That's catnip for women. We want to roll on the floor, blissfully happy because someone loves us just the way we are. And here's the problem when we want love. We do the opposite. I want love. I've got to change my hair. I've got to lose weight. I've got to get stuff snipped off, injected in, bleached and tucked and nipped. And no, you don't have to do any of that. There's nothing for you to take away to find love. And actually, there's nothing for you to add in except for one thing. If you want to find love, you must believe you are lovable. That's kind of easy when you know how to do it. So if you want love, the only thing you need to add into is a belief, I'm lovable, I'm worthy of love, I'm deserving of love. And you don't find love because you've got thin thighs and big hair. You can have big thighs and thin hair and find love. You don't find love because you buy it or run after it or earn it or are good or nice or kind or a perfect shape. You find love when you know you are lovable. So how do you do that? Well, this is the first step. What are the words you would love your perfect person to say to you? And most people don't want to hear, yeah, you're the best dentist in the whole of Beverly Hills. You're the best nail technician in the whole of London. We want to hear, I love you because you're you. You know your little flaws that make you love me, make me love you even more. I love your little wonky grin. I love your little podgy tummy. Those things make you special to me. So imagine now you got a Valentine's card and it says in it the words that are going to make your heart sing. Say them now, whatever you'd like to read in that card, hear on your voice. I'll have someone whisper in your ear. Say them to yourself right now. You're great. You're lovable. You're warm. You're amazing. You're the one. You're sexy. You're compelling. You're magnetic. I don't know what it is about you, but you are my one and only. And you might feel uncomfortable. I think this is a bit cheesy. You know it doesn't care, because here's the truth. When you say those words to yourself, not only does your mind not know where they're coming from, it doesn't even care. It doesn't go, well, you just said that. Nobody else said that. You said it. It neither cares nor indeed knows where those words, you're great, I love you, you're amazing, come from. So get used to doing it, and then look in the mirror and go, look at you. You're amazing. I love you. I know you're going to say it's going to make my toes curl and my teeth are going to, I feel so silly. So what? Just because you feel silly, that doesn't mean it doesn't work. Every time you go past your mirror, go, hi, you're amazing. I love you. Doesn't matter if you feel silly. If I said, I promise if you do this, you'll find love, you go, okay, I'll do it. Some people come to me and go, I put pigeon droppings in my armpit. If you told me that would get me love. People will do almost anything to find love except what really works, which is tell yourself what you want to hear. So now you're going to graduate from writing it down and thinking it to writing it on your mirror. There you are. I love you. You're amazing. You're going to make yourself look at me and go, hey, look at you, you gorgeous thing. I love you. You don't even need to say I love you because when someone says I love you because you're beautiful, you think, and if I wasn't, you wouldn't. I love you because you're so smart. If I wasn't, you wouldn't. I love you because you fix everything for me. Don't quantify it. I love you because you are so lovable. And I love you so much. And you're going to find so many people who love you just the way I love you because you're lovable. And many times I meet women and men who've lost their partner through illness or something terrible. And they tend to find someone else almost immediately. You know why? Because they have a template for being loved. They've been loved. They know what it's like to be loved. They have the belief, I'm worthy of love. And some people go through life finding love and finding it again. Others go, I never find it. Every person I meet ghosts me, dumps me, rejects me. But that's not that person. If you don't think you are lovable, sadly, you'll be drawn to people who reject you because you're just recreating what is familiar, finding the wrong person and trying to make them the right person. And who's got time for that? You need to find the right person first. And the way to do it is, again, I'm emphasizing this because it's so important, the mirror work. Hi, I love you. You're amazing. You're great. You're warm. You're funny. You're compelling. And then add into it more and more reasons why you love yourself. So that is the most effective way to find love, to be the person you want to be. And then, it is Valentine's Day and it's like, oh, I want flowers and a little card. Send yourself flowers. I know, again, that's going to sound cheesy, but it really, really works. Send yourself a card. I've had many Valentine's Days when I was completely on my own and others where I felt completely loved. When I was on my own, when I was in my 20s, it was like, oh no, I don't have proof. But as I got older, I realized that was up to me. And the other thing you can do if you really have this Valentine's Day rejection fear is to give someone else what you most want. Many years ago, I was also a single parent and I had a little baby. And usually on Mother's Day, it's the dad that gets the flowers and the card and takes you out to lunch. But I had a little 9-month-old baby and she wasn't old enough to write a card and go, Mommy, you're the best. And I woke up on Mother's Day, no card, no flowers. And I went to a market and I bought 2 big bunches of flowers. I didn't really have much money at all then because I was a single parent. But I went to this market. I got 2 huge bunches of flowers and I drove to my 2 different friends' homes that were single parents, just like me, with babies, no cards, no gifts. And I rang the bell. I didn't tell them it was me. And then I gave them flowers. And it was amazing. And it was actually one of the best Mother's Days I ever had, even though I didn't get flowers, because I gave them what I wanted to get back. So on Valentine's Day, don't just go into, right, I'm going to send myself a card. Think about what you could do for someone else, even an old person, someone in their 70s who's not going to get a card. I was remember driving my daughter to school one day and she had a guy that would stand in the car park and direct the traffic. His name was George. We bought him a heart-shaped lollipop because he was so sweet and he had no wife. And I remember watching her run out the car and giving him his face. He was like so amazed that somebody thought about him on Valentine's Day, especially in the UK where Valentine's Day is only for the person you love. So go and be someone else's Valentine. Give what you want to get. Many people come onto my course to train with me because they say I don't have love and I'm in an emotional wasteland and I'm so fed up with being alone. I thought I'd be a therapist and I'd help other people. And actually 2 years ago, this lady came in from Kenya. She was nearly 40 and she said, I've never had love and I've kind of given up on love. So I'm just going to be a therapist now, go back to Kenya and heal my community. I said, if you do what I say, you'll be married in a year. She was married in a year. She invited me to her wedding. I get invited to so many weddings all over the world. But a year after that, at nearly 41, she had a baby. So on her second wedding anniversary, she had a little baby. And that happens to me all the time. I recently met someone in LA who said, I met you in Barcelona, and I was so sad. I hadn't had a relationship for so long. I felt unattractive. I felt ugly. And I said, look, do what I tell you to do. You'll be married within a year. I say that all the time because I see it happening all the time. She actually, funny enough, was renting an apartment in Barcelona. And the guy that was renting the same apartment, she had no interest in him whatsoever. He wasn't her type. They were married a year to the day. I was a bridesmaid, which was not something I planned to be. And a year after that, I was somewhere else. And she does a lot of my courses. And her husband let off a firework display for their wedding anniversary because he loves her so much. And I have a lot of men. I went to a wedding of a guy who said to me, I always find women that hurt me and diminish me, because his mother was very mean to him and he felt worthless. And I told him what to do, which is what I'm going to do. What would you like your ideal woman to say? For him, it was, you're smart, I'm interested in you. And of course, he liked women who diminished him and weren't interested, because the mind likes to create what we know and put a happy ending on it. So I've got a cold, distant, horrible mother, and I seem to like cold, distant women. And I put all my energy into making them like me, and they never do. It's like, well, that's a waste of energy. Don't change the ending, change the beginning. Every time you meet a woman, just ask yourself one question. How do I feel about me when I'm with her? And he said, because I did all that. You're great, you're lovable, you're amazing. She was really interested in me. He said, and I knew on the second day I was going to marry that girl. I went to the wedding and he gave a lovely speech, and I could never have married her if it wasn't for Marisa, which I thought was a very nice thing to say. So we have many graduates of our course who come in to do the course who end up getting married, finding love, even making their existing love better. In fact, on my last day of training, this girl came and said, I wish you'd picked me to work with, because I just can't stand my husband. I hate having sex with him. I'm going to have to leave him. I've got 3 kids, and I'm doing this course to get the money to be able to support them when I tell him I'm leaving him. And I really wanted you to pick me, and you didn't. And I went, look, okay, I tell you what, I'll do a Skype session with you, and then we can show that to everyone else. And so, in fact, actually, I did do a Skype session with her. And we went back to all these issues about why she didn't like her husband, why she didn't like sex. And it was all to do with her father. She'd come in from school and he'd be having sex upstairs really loudly. And when you're 12, that's pretty horrible. And at the end of the session, she went, I've got to cut this short, because if I run home now and I grab my husband and have sex with the kids come home, I really want to have sex with him. I don't know what you've done to me, but I'm suddenly feel so attracted to him. So I've got to stop, and I'm going to run home and grab him. And she did. And she wrote me a letter saying, not only did you change my life and save my marriage, that affected 5 people, me, my husband, my 3 kids, because I've never been happier. And I see that a lot with people who are with the wrong person, keep attracting the wrong person, believe they'll never find the right person. And it all goes back to the same thing. I just don't feel lovable. My mum didn't love me. My dad left when I was 2. He never came back. My sister was pretty. My brother was smart. My teacher at school said I was useless. And most of us have heard that. And we've heard really horrible, mean things, me included. It's never too late to find love. It's never too late to do a complete turn and go from being having that magnetic ability to make people like you. In fact, somebody wrote to me and said, I listened to you. I don't know what you did, but the guy in the next apartment who I'd never noticed before in my entire life, I was walking down the hallway and he came up to me and said, you've got this magnetic, so I have to talk to you. They ended up getting married. Someone else said, I go to the same store every week. And I was bending over, getting something at the freezer, and this guy came up and said, I just feel this need to talk to you. I hope you don't mind. I never do this, but can I have a coffee? She went, no. And then she went, actually, yes. And they're still together too. So I see that all the time, going from an emotional wasteland to finding love. And here's how I know it works, quite aside from the letters I get, the wedding invitations, the baby pictures, which absolutely makes my day. The day I got engaged, something very odd happened. It never happened before. I got engaged and I went to the airport and I was going to Spain to give a talk. And as I went through security, this guy ran after me and went, "Hey, I think you dropped this bit of paper on the floor." I mean, no, I didn't drop a bit of paper on the floor. He just wanted to talk to me. He went, can I talk to you? And can I get your number? And I went, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm engaged." He went, "Of course you are." But he was fine. That happened because the day I got engaged, I went to the airport. I felt so loved up, so lovable, so wanted, so desired. It must have been coming out of my pores because I travel a lot and no guy has ever run after me in an airport and said, "You dropped this bit of paper," and then tried to hit on me, except for the day I got engaged. And by the way, I was 50 then. I wasn't 20 or 19. But I knew why he did that, because I was radiating this, I'm so lovable, someone loves me, I'm going to get married. But even if someone doesn't love you, and you're not about to get married, you have to get that belief. There's a song I love, I think it's from Seven Brides and Seven Brothers, because I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with a wonderful girl or a wonderful guy. There are so many great songs. At last, my love has come of age. I found the love I've always been waiting for. So find a song that would sing to you the lyrics you most want to hear. You're the love of my life. You do something to me. That's a great song. So many. And sing that song just as if you don't feel comfortable enough saying the words, put it on and sing it to yourself. It had to be you. I don't know why, but it had to be you. You're my one and only. So I'd love to answer some questions that you have about finding love, but also about training with me and learning how to do what I do. There is nothing better than using RTT to find love, and many of our therapists all over the world say, it's so great because I help people find love. They too get invited to weddings and christenings and all kinds of things. And it's just so lovely. I work with even 18-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids who are desperate to try to make some idiot boy or uninterested girl like them. I'm like, darling, all the energy you're trying to make this person like you, why don't you put it into you? Fall in love with you. You see, here's the truth. When you fall in love with yourself, that is a lifelong romance. It never fades. It never dies. It never forgets your birthday. No waxing or snipping off is required in order to fall in love with yourself. And the longest relationships you'll have in your entire life is not with this great person you just met. It's not even with this great child you made, because they were 30 years of your life before they came along. The longest relationship you'll ever have in your life is with you. Fall in love with you. Give yourself the words you've always wanted to hear. This Valentine's, you can make it the last one you will ever be alone by using the techniques all my RTT therapists use to change clients' lives. Think of the words you most want to hear. Say them to yourself. Let them in. The mind learns by repetition. Remind yourself you are lovable. Use this magic sentence. I accept myself as lovable. I believe in myself as lovable. I see myself as lovable. I easily give love to others, and I easily accept the love that others have for me. And I am filled and nourished by the love that others have for me, and I fill and nourish them with my love. Because there's someone somewhere who is perfect for you. My gran used to say, every pan has a lid. I went to a wedding of a cousin who was not very attractive, poor thing, very overweight with thick milk bottle glasses, and she had a very skinny husband. She went, see, I told you, every pan has a lid. She found her lid. He found his lid. You can find your lid. I wake up and I go online and I get people to fall in love with themselves. And just yesterday I worked with a girl right across the world who was so unhappy. And this morning she said, I'm going to send you 3 of my friends. I mean, they just can't believe what's happened to me, the stuff you uncovered. And I never knew why. I was always buying love, running after people, giving them everything, which doesn't work with men, by the way, because men are hunters. They need to earn it. If you just give someone everything, they'll take it, they'll like it, but they won't value it. So imagine doing that as a career. You're an RTT therapist and you're helping people feel lovable. You're helping people find love. You're helping people not just find love, but keep it forever, because actually finding love and maintaining love, not quite the same thing. If you're attractive, you can go out and find some love, but you need to maintain it, to find and maintain love for your entire life, to know that the person you're with, you don't want anyone else, you're happy, you're completing each other, even though you're not incomplete without someone. It's the best feeling in the world. Whoever sang that song, Love Makes the World Go Round, knew exactly what they were talking about. So I would love to answer some questions now about you. How do you find love? Where is love? And let me just tell you one more thing before we go into the Q&A. I'm speaking a bit fast now because I know I'm using up a lot of time. If you want love and you're a woman, do not go to yoga and bend over with 35 other women and go, well, I can't find a guy. Don't go to book clubs. Don't go to women's things. There's no men there. Go to the weights room, because that's where guys are. You have to do two things. Well, three really. The first is you must believe you are worthy of love. And the second is put yourself in front of the kind of person you would like to be with. So if you want a smart guy, go downtown to an IT convention, go to the city in your lunchtime and sit in Starbucks, be around interesting guys, and you'll probably end up with one. And if you're a guy, then don't go to the pub. One of my clients said, I listened to you and I decided to believe I was super lovable. My mum rejected me. She was awful to me. She always said I should have been a girl. And I never understood why I couldn't attract women. And then you told me I had all this female energy. And you were right, because my mum kept saying I wanted a girl. I wish you'd been a girl. I did what you said, and then I went downtown and I went and spent the day at a hairdressing convention. And I found this great girl. I checked in for the whole weekend, and there was hundreds of girls. I could have had any of them. But I found a really nice one. We got talking, and they're still together. So it's great to believe you're lovable, but being lovable while sitting at home and watching TV isn't quite enough. After, if you wanted a house, you go out and look at some houses, at least online. Then you go and view them. If you wanted a job, you go out for some interviews. You want a great guy, a great girl, a great husband, a great wife, a great partner. Believe you're worth it. Tell yourself the words you want to hear. Remind yourself you are deeply, deeply lovable and magnetic, and so attractive to the person you want to be, that what you want wants you. And then put yourself around those people. One of my clients, I said, you're so pretty, go and join a golf club. She went, why? I said, because there's no women there, you'll be snapped up. And she was. She said, I never thought about that. I have other clients who'll go to the car wash, and obviously you're not going there with that desperate air, but when you believe you're lovable, love will find you. You don't have to find it. But you do have to put yourself around the kind of people you want to be with. So I hope that helps you. And remember, nobody can reject you unless you give them your consent. And if you don't give them your consent, you cannot be rejected. You can go, yeah, I didn't get any cards this year, but next year, I've got a plan next year. I'm going to have so many cards. This year, I can look at other people and go, yeah, it's my turn. That song by Diana Ross, it's my turn. It's your turn. If you do what I advise you to do, I can almost guarantee you'll find love. It comes in all shapes and sizes. It's all around you. Just got to let it in. So let's go to some questions, and I'd love to answer questions on love, on training in RTT, on everything you have. So if you have the first question, please just read it out to me. Thanks.
Cool. So the first question is from Carrie, as she said. Hi, Marisa. What if you say all these affirmations to yourself, but you don't actually believe what you're saying to yourself?
Doesn't matter. The mind learns by repetition. If you walk out in the street and I'm going to get a cold, I'm going to get a cold, I'm going to get a cold, because the weather's changed, you'll get a cold. You see, the thing about the mind is it believes what you tell it. It believes what you tell it with repetition. But if you really want your mind to get it, use very exciting words. Don't say stuff like, I want to find someone, say I'm finding someone magnetic and compelling and dynamic, and they're going to fall in love with my soul, and we're going to be together forever. I am attracting into my life my soulmate, the person who's perfect for me, and they know that I'm perfect for them. And we create this amazing relationship, loving and believing in each other. You know, I, many years ago, made a mood board. I was just about to write a book, and I wasn't sure at all that was ever going to happen. So I made this mood board. I put in pictures of my book and best-selling New York Times. But then I thought, you know, I actually want someone to. So I put a picture of a guy with a Tiffany ring behind his back, and I put a picture of a wedding, and I put all the things I wanted. And I think 10 months after I put that up, I was married. So it's not just about saying it, make a mood board. There's a lot of studies that say that if you have a mood board and you look at it every day, you might call it a visualizing board. If you look at it every day and go, I am attracted to that, not I want it, oh, I want that, I need that, why haven't I got it? No. You make a mood for a wedding, a great couple, the kind of person you want to be with, a ring, anything that matters to you. Maybe a ring and a wedding doesn't matter. Maybe it's a couple sitting on the sofa or having a picnic or skiing together or just walking in the park, and you go, I am attracting that. I want that, and it wants me. As I move towards that, it's moving towards me. You know, my mood board, visualization board had all kinds of stuff on it. A hot air balloon going over Egypt. And everything on that board came true. Everything happened, even the hot air balloon over Egypt, everything. Because I looked at it, I called it in, I manifested it, I created it, I coded it and wired it into my head like a coder. And you can too. So if it hasn't worked or you don't believe it, do it more. But make some pictures of what you want. You can even make a screensaver on your phone or go on to, I've forgotten what it's called, Pinterest, and do it that way. I hope that helps. Next question, please.
Sure. So the next question is by Twilla Williams. How do I teach my 12-year-old son to feel lovable?
Okay, well, you're going to say this magic sentence. It's good to start as a baby. It's never too late. I love you so much because you are so lovable. And all your life, you're going to find people who love you like I love you because you are lovable. That sentence is a game changer. So many people come to me for RTTing, I can't find love, and they go back to being a baby. And while many of them have the classic, my mum said she wanted a boy, my dad said I ruined his life, my dad left her I was born, my dad ran off and had another baby, that they treat like the Messiah. That kid got a Game Boy and private education. I got nothing. I'm not lovable. While I get the neglect, I also get the opposite. One of my clients went back to her father telling her every day, you will never, ever find anyone that loves you like me. You'll never find anyone that loves you like me. You couldn't find anyone that loves you like me. Without meaning to, he programmed her to believe that she couldn't find love, and she couldn't find love until we went back, found that old coding and erased it and put in a better one. And so with children, you must tell them, I love you, not I love you because you're smart or kind or you help me. I love you because you're deeply lovable, just the way you are. And all your life, you're going to find people who love you like I love you because you're lovable. And 12-year-old boys need to hear that. 15-year-old boys with acne need to hear that you're lovable. There is someone for you. It's not about being good at sports. It's nothing to do with that. It's about knowing you're lovable, and you know it. You'll find love. In fact, I worked with a little boy. He was terribly bullied at school. He was quite small and he felt disadvantaged, and he came in for bullying. But while I was working with him, I kept telling him that he was lovable, 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 amazing. Only did he stop getting bullied, he got with the most attractive girl in the year above him. And they're still together because it was only like 2 years ago. And it's not like it's so weird that at 14, he's got this 15-year-old girlfriend. She's really pretty. And he's a bit of a geek, but they're crazy about each other because I made him feel so good about himself to cope with the bullying. But the secondary benefit is he found the most desirable girl in the school, and she liked him because he liked himself. So it's really important with boys, with anyone, to believe you are lovable. If you believe you're lovable, that will radiate out from you. Other people will also believe that you are lovable. Next question, please.
Our next question is from Anu, and he says, what is the best way to get over old, hurtful relationships which still haunt you?
Well, one of the best ways to get over that is to recognize if somebody loved you once, when they left you, they didn't take all of your qualities away. They didn't go, yeah, I love you because you're great, you're funny, you're interesting, you're so cute. Oh, I don't love you anymore. And I'm taking all those things back. You see, whatever somebody fell in love with you once is still in you. Even if someone dumped you, rejected you, replaced you, whatever they loved is still in you. And maybe you just tried too hard to make the wrong person love you. Maybe they're what I call your starter relationship. I mean, some of the people I loved and dated in my past, I'm so glad that what I once called the love of my life dumped me. In fact, I'm thrilled. He did me the biggest favor in the world, because then I found the real love of my life. And sometimes we look at them and think, oh, you broke my heart and ripped it out and stamped all over it. No, they got bored. You might have got bored too. You met the wrong person at the right time. You met the wrong person at the wrong time. Now, if they saw anything in you that made them like you, even for a brief moment of time, it's still there. Now go and find the right person at the right time. We all pick the wrong people because we're so desperate to make someone love us, and we pretend we're something we're not, and then we find someone who's attracted to some fantasy we've created that's not even us. I did that. I pretended I was something completely different, hid all my insecurities, then met someone who liked that person I pretended to be. But I kept thinking, but you don't even know me because it's all an act. And then I realized how wrong that was, and I stopped that. And I understood that the basis of all relationships is we choose people who like our vulnerabilities, even share them. We like people who are like us, and people who appear to be perfect are usually alone, and they're usually unhappy. Just be you. And look at those old relationships and realize they weren't right for you. They weren't right at all. They might have been compelling and sexy and fun, but that wasn't for you. And the person that is for you is right in front of you. So recognize those other people did you a favor, and realize you've been going into the wrong relationship over and over again, attracting someone the same type and trying to change the ending. And we all do that. I was in a bar. I met this guy. Oh my God, we just clicked. I felt like I'd known him all my life. It was amazing. Then it all went wrong. That's because the person you felt you'd known all your life was your father. My dad was difficult and critical, and I seem to like difficult, critical men. Well, that's not surprising, because the mind is hardwired to find what is familiar, change the ending. So many women and men too. So I like cold people, bad boys, wild girls, people who are not interested. And I try so hard to make them like me. But you don't have to do that anymore. You know, I had that. My father was the headmaster. He was a lovely man, but he was more interested in other people than me. Other people's kids were his reason for living. And I at home was not that interesting to him. And I always found men who I was the least interesting to them, until I realized, oh, yeah, my dad was a principal, a head teacher. I keep finding men that never put me first, because he never put me first, because he was paid to put other people's kids first, and they respond to him better than me because they just thought he was a saint. But I saw the real person with his flaws, as lovely as he was. And the day I understood that was a game changer. I broke up with someone because I realized he was a bit like a head teacher, rather controlling and critical, and everything changed on a dime, because I realized what I was doing, trying to find a critical person and make them make me the most important person in their world, and that just stopped. And then I found someone who isn't critical and definitely makes me feel like the most important person in this world every day, because I believed I was worth it. I did a bit of work on myself. It changed everything, and so fast too. And that's what RTT does. I did RTT on myself. I've taught 4,000 people all over the world to do this. You can find an amazing therapist somewhere who will get rid of all your love blocks like that, and your wealth blocks, and your health blocks, and your success blocks too. And you can train in this method. Do it for other people. It really is the very best job in the whole world. It's why I will never, ever do anything else, ever, because I love it. I do what I love what I do. Doesn't even feel like work. Next question, please.
So the next question is from Charika Roche. There's a Valentine's event I'm interested in attending, but I'm unsure about going because it's for singles and I'm a solo parent. Should I go?
Absolutely. I mean, being a solo parent, I remember being on a plane once with my daughter, and this guy was really hitting on me, but he was using her, going, oh, your kid is so cute. Oh, I can see that she gets her looks from her mother. And I never found being a single parent stopped people being attracted to me. In fact, in many ways, they found it an asset. Some people would actually fall in love with my little girl. So that's your belief. You see, I'm a single parent. One of my clients said, after I saw you and I was so confident, I went away and I met this guy. He said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a mum. And I said it straight away. I thought, I'm not going to hide that. He went, oh, that's so cool. Tell me. And they actually got married, and her little girl was her page boy. I knew a very, very famous rock star that was my client. And he said, when I met my wife to be, she had a little girl of 4. So I fell in love with that little girl. I married her. I had 3 more children with my wife. But my favorite, I've never told anyone, but my favorite is that little girl that isn't even mine, because I always believed that she brought me and my wife together. The great love I had for her and the need to step in and be her dad made me think, I'm never going to leave this woman who he married. And they had 4 daughters, but that one was his favorite. I've met many people who said that, I fell in love with my wife, but I fell in love with her children. So go to that singles night. Be proud of being a mum. After all, you have love in your life. That little girl or boy loves you and you love them. You can go, yeah, I've already got love. I've got love and I can have more love. And you know why that gives you an advantage? Many people wanting to give everything. I'm desperate. I've got to find someone and get pregnant. And oh my God, I'm 35. The clock's ticking. You've already got the baby. When I had my baby, with somebody who I remember thinking, what relief. There's no rush anymore. I've got a baby now. I can spend all my time finding my perfect person because I've got my baby. I'm not in that race. And I got married when I was 50 and I wasn't in a race because I had her and I had a beautiful time with her. So see that as an advantage. Your clock isn't ticking. Even if you want more children, once you've had 1, it's much easier to have 2. See that child as an asset. I remember one of my friends who was so gorgeous, so handsome, and so wealthy saying, I want to meet someone who's already got a baby because I don't ever want to go through sleep. So I'd like to meet someone with a 3 or 4-year-old because I don't want to have sleepless nights. He was a bit obsessed with getting enough sleep. And I thought, isn't that interesting? He's gorgeous, rich, and titled, and the sweetest guy ever. But he wants someone who's already got a child, and he found someone. And he loves that child. They never had any more, but he adores that girl. She's his in every way. And my husband and I share children. I have mine, he has his, and we love them all. I got the son I never had when I married my husband, and an extra daughter too. And my daughter got extra siblings, and it's a lovely thing. So see it as an advantage. Next question, please. When you go to that singles night, believing that you're worth it and you won't be single for very long. Next question, please.
This question is from Celeste, and she asks, you mentioned going to the golf club. Won't this look too obvious or desperate?
Not if you're playing golf. No, of course it would. If you went to the golf club and just wandered around. I mean, the point is, if you go to somewhere and you actually play golf or tennis, or, for instance, let's imagine you walk a neighbor's dog, an old lady who's got a pet and she can't walk it and you walk it. Or you join a running club, or you find something, maybe you're into Greenpeace or Friends of the Earth. You see, there's a lot of men at places like Greenpeace, Friends of the Earth, walking their dog, going to poker schools, going to golf, going to tennis. And going to something like that and doing something that keeps you occupied, or going to the weight room. I mean, I met my longest relationship with my husband in a weights room of a gym because he came up to me and he said, you're doing that arm exercise all wrong. Let me show you how to do it right. And I'm like, okay. And that was a very good opening line. Lots of people meet the person they're dating in the gym, but not usually in yoga or Pilates because that's full of women. But the point is, I wasn't in that way. Going, oh, you're not. Oh, who can I find? I was busy doing my arm exercises, badly busy working out on a machine, And he was busy helping me do it right. And we were together for years, and he was an amazing, amazing person. So wherever you go to find someone, of course, you're not like looking around going, oh, I need you. You're doing something. And if you're busy doing something around people that are of the opposite sex or the same sex, and you believe you're lovable, that energy will make them so attractive. Like the woman who was busy shopping in the store, the guy came outside, I don't know what it is about you, but you radiated something, and I must talk to you, and I really want to have a cup of coffee with you. That was the thing. She wasn't wondering, I was going, you're nice. Can I, oh, yours thing. Let me look in your basket. Oh, it's all single food. Let me hit on you. Because someone just told me that Whole Foods in LA on a Friday night is full of women who go there to find a guy, but they're all doing the same thing, looking in guys' baskets, going, oh, he's buying food for one. And then they talk to them. And that's not the same. That is desperate. Being busy, busy, busy while you're learning something with someone that you like is what you do. And many of my women friends that I went to the weight room and actually got really into the weights, but also met someone amazing. And I wasn't looking. I was just, oh, okay, I'm surrounded by men. I'm doing my leg presses here and my stomach crunches. And I'm not, I even put headphones on so I don't look like I'm desperate. They still come up and talk to me. It really works, I promise you. So it's not about being desperate. It's about believing you're lovable and putting yourself in front of the kind of person you would like to have a relationship with. Next question, please.
Celine asks, if I trained as an RTT therapist, could I work with people who struggle with their own self-worth? I'm on a journey and I both want to help others like me.
Absolutely. Now, there are a couple of things that happen when you train with us, whether it's live or online. First of all, our training is very thorough and you work on your issues. You will get someone to practice with a different person. If you do the online training, you'll join the practice register. You will get therapy and you'll give therapy. And because you're getting and giving therapy, we work on your issues. Bring your issues to our course. We will fix them. So first of all, it's not like, oh, okay, I've trained and I'm helping, but I'm still broken. I'm helping other people, but I am so broken. And a lot of therapists are, not to make them feel bad, but many people go into that profession to give what they haven't got, and they are fixing broken people while they are broken themselves. When you train in RTT, we fix you. And when we fix you, because our technique is so extraordinary, after all, it's won, I should show you, it's won like 13 of these awards. They're all over there. I've got so many of these because it's amazing. Oh, look, there's more here. There's more over there. We didn't win all these awards by fluke. We won many, many, many awards for the best therapy, the best new product, everything, because our technique works. So when you train with us, you get fixed. You get fixed, and then you're able to go out into the world and fix other people because you're not broken. By the way, clients like it when you go, yeah, you know what? I do understand that because I was a single parent. I was alone for 5 years. I couldn't get away. I got fired. I got bullied. You don't tell clients your story because it's about them, but they like it when you go, you know, I understand about bullying. It happened to me, or it happened to my sister or my cousin. We show you how to have empathy and rapport. We show you everything. The training is very thorough. And people come to me and go, well, you know, I did this career to change other people's lives. I wanted to help people so much. It was my calling. But guess what? I changed my own life. That wasn't even on the agenda, but here I am. In fact, somebody I worked with wrote to me and said, you know, I did this because it was my calling, having had no idea that in a year I would find someone and I would put my 2 kids through private school. I had this lovely girl who flew from Australia to train with me. She was a single mom. Her ex absolutely was awful to her, and she had no money at all. She went back to Australia, became one of the best therapists in Australia almost overnight. Weirdly enough, the ex started to be really nice to her, and now she's got someone, this amazing guy that she found. Her kids are great, their relationship is great, everything is great, and she's busy.
Guess what? It's not the praise of someone else, as nice as that can be. It is your praise. When you praise yourself, your self-esteem goes up. You see, if I praise someone, if I say to my PA, hey, you are the best PA I've ever had in my life. I love you. Could you please work this weekend? I have totally manipulated her with praise. I go to a store, they go, oh, that shirt is so you must buy it. They've manipulated me with praise. And our unconscious mind understands when other people praise us, they often have an agenda. Not always, but often they want something. But when you praise yourself, your mind understands there's no agenda, it must be true. You see, your mind really doesn't care if what you tell it is right or wrong, true or false, healthy or not. It lets it in. And that's why it's so important to stop criticism and to start praise, to praise yourself every day. And I promise you, praising yourself does not make you big-headed. It doesn't make you arrogant. It doesn't make you obnoxious or unbearable. It makes you better. You see, people who go and go, hey, I'm great me, I'm amazing, I'm better than everyone, they don't really believe that. Arrogance is trying to convince someone else that you're worthy because you don't really believe it. But self-praise, first of all, no one even has to know you're doing it. It's about you taking the time every day to say nice things to yourself. Let's do it right now. Why wait? Take a minute and say, today I did something amazing. It doesn't matter if that's as simple as letting someone in front of you in the store, paying someone a compliment, letting someone in a queue of traffic, smiling at someone, giving someone your seat on a bus or a train. You see, when I was a parent, I used to say to my daughter every night, what did you do today that was amazing? And she'd go, Mummy, I lent somebody my crayons. Sometimes she says, I don't know, I can't think. And I go, I'll think of something. But you see, praise boosts you. Criticism withers you. It's very easy to go through there going, oh, I messed that up and that was awful and I'm so useless and I'm such a loser. You have to stop that. And as you stop destructive criticism, you must add in a lot of praise. And praise is so simple. I'm a nice person. I did something good today. I did lots of good things today. I'm kind. I'm warm, I'm nice to my friends, I'm a nice person, I listen to people. It isn't rocket science. Think of how you can praise yourself every single day. And if you can praise yourself every day for something tiny, for lots of tiny things, even to say, you know, today, my partner was speaking to me, I put my phone down, I actually listened. I made a point of being interested. I helped someone at work that was struggling. I was kind to someone. You know, kindness is so underrated. So think of how you can praise you, the words you can say. And remember, there is nothing that will boost your self-esteem. Not shopping, not even a promotion, not more money. Studies show that buying stuff, getting a raise, don't affect you as much as praising yourself. So I want you to praise yourself every day. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. You make your habits, and then your habits turn right around and make you. And one of the best habits you can acquire is praising yourself. If you're a parent, it's even more important because your children will see you doing it and go, oh, I should do this. You see, children naturally go, hey, today I was good. Don't I look beautiful? Aren't I smart? Look at me. Watch me. Notice how good I am. Little kids say, Mummy, watch me dancing, watch me swimming, watch me climbing. They praise themselves until we say, oh, stop showing off. Stop parading yourself around. No one's interested in you. And that's not true. You are interested in you. So praise yourself a lot. Every day, a lot. No one needs to know. Won't make you big-headed. You know what it will do? It will give you massive, powerful, permanent, all-pervasive self-esteem. And you know, so much of this fear of praising ourselves, fearing that we're arrogant or big-headed or a show-off, comes from our childhood. So let's go to step 2, the second way of massively boosting your self-esteem. I just talked earlier about the praise you've always wanted. What many of us do is we expect someone else to make us feel good. We go through life like this, hey, could you make me feel I matter? Could you make me feel I'm attractive? Could you maybe make me feel interesting? Can I give you this job, this responsibility of making me feel I matter? And if you give that job to someone else, the problem is you also give them the job of removing it anytime they feel like it. In all those songs, you make me feel wonderful, and then, oh, you've left and now I'm nothing. So think of the words you most wanted to hear from your parents. If you wanted your mum to always say, you're my favorite child, or you're so pretty, or you're so cute, or you're so interesting, or you matter, or how lucky am I to be your parent. Think of the words you most needed to hear, and then start to say them yourself. You see, you know far better than me the words you most needed your mother, father, teacher, grandmother to say. And all kids want to hear the same thing. I like spending time with you. You're interesting, you're funny, you're great to be around. I'm so lucky that you're my kid. I'm so lucky that I get to raise you. How lucky am I got the best kid in the world. We all want to hear that. And some of us never hear it. And then we try to make someone else out there play that part. Could you do what my dad or my mum or my grandmother never did and tell me I matter? You have to tell yourself you matter. Many years ago, I worked with someone who said, I only date women that diminish me and put me down. And I seem to love women that are so intelligent, and I always feel inadequate. And he said, you know, when I was 6, I was showing my mum a drawing, and she said, darling, you might be 6. Please remember I'm not 6. I find you very boring. I'm so intelligent. I should never have had children. I'm just too intelligent to deal with you. He said, I never forgot that. I'm like, who would forget that? Your mother saying, darling, you might be 6. I'm not. I find you so boring. He knew what he was doing, finding women that were super intelligent, because he wanted them to say, gosh, you're intelligent. Let's talk about the stock market. Let's talk about science and neurons because you're so bright. But they never did. I said, look, here's what you have to do when you meet a woman. If you don't feel smart and intelligent, leave. And he said, you know, a few weeks later, I met a woman and my first thought was, gosh, I feel smart with her. He married her. I went to the wedding. It was a wonderful thing because he stopped trying to make someone else tell him he was smart, and he told himself, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. After all, my mother, if she was that smart, really, she would never have said that to a 6-year-old kid. That's not smart, that's stupid, that's not intelligent. You would never say that to your own child. You're boring, I'm too intelligent to have you. If you were really intelligent, you'd shut your mouth and you'd say something kind. So back to you. Think of what you most wanted someone to say. It's not difficult. Maybe you wanted to be told you were the favorite. Maybe you wanted to be told you were my 3rd girl, and I was thrilled to have a 3rd girl. You were my 4th boy, and I was so glad to have a 4th boy. Your brother might have been the most intelligent, but you were always the most interesting, the most funny, the most compelling. Whatever you need to hear, say it now. You are smart. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are funny. You're endearing. You're interesting. You are great to be around. I love your company. I'm proud of you. How many of us never heard that? Dad, are you proud of me? For what? Mum, are you proud of me? No, you have an easy life. You see, often we ask our parents, please meet my need to matter, and they don't. And then it becomes an unmet need, and we go through life with this unmet need. Hey, could you meet my unmet need? Don't give that power to anyone else. You can meet any unmet need. You know, if your parents died and you put up for adoption, 500 people would have wanted to adopt you. So as a kid, you have very simple needs. You need to feel safe. You need to feel loved. You need to feel your parents are proud of you and cherish you and celebrate you. And if they didn't, that's now an unmet need. And you want someone else in the world to meet this need to make you feel safe or cherished or celebrated. No, you must meet that need. Did you need your parents to say they were proud of you and they didn't? That's a great shame. But you can start saying, I'm proud of me every day. Say it, state it until it stops being what you say and becomes who you are. And here's the third way to massively boost your self-esteem. Look in the mirror and go, look at you, you amazing person. Every time you clean your teeth, comb your hair, don't go, oh my God, look at the state of me. I look so old, so tired, so knackered. I should have cleaned this shirt. This doesn't suit me. Stop all of that. Immediately stop it and just go, hey, there you are, you gorgeous creature. Look at you, you wonderful person. You see, I had a cat once that had a missing tail and a wonky grin and a funny little ear that flipped over. And its imperfections made me love it more than all the other cats. My favorite story says, Tess, her eyes were neither blue, nor green, nor brown, and her lips were lopsided, and these imperfections made her perfect. So don't say, well, I'll praise myself when I lose 10 pounds, when I've got a designer suit, when I've got a gym body. No. Do it now. If you had a little baby, you wouldn't go, hey, I'll love you when you're perfect. I'll praise you when you're perfect. You praise them when their nose is running and their diaper's leaking and they got milk spots because you love them. So look in the mirror and go, hey, look at you, you gorgeous creature. There you are, you amazing person. I love you. Yes, it feels a bit cheesy, but who cares? Because it works. So promise me you'll look in the mirror every day and go, hey, I love you. You're amazing. You're warm and funny and kind. People don't fall in love with you because you've got thin thighs or a six-pack. They fall in love with you because you're real and kind and genuine. And the basis of all friendships is we choose people who share their vulnerability. When you pretend you haven't got one, it's hard to make friends. It's being real and vulnerable and authentic that makes people relate to you and love you and connect to you. But first, you have to connect to yourself and look in the mirror going, hello, there you are, I love you, is the fastest way of connecting to yourself and boosting massively your self-esteem. And when you fall in love with you, you give the whole world consent to join you. If you enjoyed that video, check out the next one right here. You can also click the link below right here for your free gift. But you shouldn't judge yourself by the numbers on the scales or even the numbers in your clothing, because it doesn't matter.